Welcome to the Spunky Spirit Podcast. I'm your host, psychic medium Cari Muggs. This is where we learn all things spirit, everything from spiritual gifts, awakenings, ghosts, aliens, and starseeds. Nothing is untouchable, but always fun and spunky. I am honored to be on this spiritual journey with you, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Hello and welcome to this episode of Spunky Spirit. I am psychic medium Cari Muggs, and this week we're going to talk about our spiritual journey. But first, we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping. I do have an event coming up in July, but it's already sold out. So I'm going to create another event. And these events are platform events, so gallery events. I'll get up and I'll do readings. Right now, I'm doing just this in person. I guess I could try one online. But right now, I'm doing in-person ones. But I could try one online. So watch for my newsletters to see if I'm going to do one online, because I might do one online. And also, too, I have a manifesting class coming up. This one is in person, this manifesting workshop. And this one's been so fun. I loved the Spirit Guides one, and I love stepping into your power, but this one is one of my favorite manifesting. I love anything about manifesting. I used to tell people that manifesting wasn't my strongest gift, but I am like bound. I'm one of those people that is like bound and determined to like figure it out. Like I like puzzle pieces. That's why I like reading so much, because I'm like, I want to figure this out. I want to like figure it out. So manifesting, I'm going to start kind of figuring it out. And I want you to come along with me on this manifesting journey, because I'm going to do it. I'm going to get aligned and do it. And so manifesting, everything that I've learned about manifesting, and I've pretty much manifested a pretty good spiritual business and abundance and things that I want. I'm not super picky, and I'm not super like, I don't need a whole bunch, but I'm pretty simple, but it's been kind of a cool journey. So speaking of journeys, I think that's about it for housekeeping. I kept the events kind of low this month because one of my daughters is getting married, and also too, I have a son who they're expecting, and this is all happening at the same time. And the baby does have a little bit, I think she's told everybody, so I think it's okay, has a heart thing that's going on that they're going to have to watch. Everything's okay. The baby's okay as long as the baby's inside the womb. But as soon as the baby's born, they're going to need to like do some sort of heart surgery. And anyways, I'm going to let them share if they want to share that part. But the reason why I'm telling you is because June and July, this summer's going to be pretty crazy, because I am going to be doing events and readings and adding some more stuff on top of that. But also too, family-wise, I have a wedding coming up in August and a baby, a baby that needs lots of attention coming up in August too. So here we go. It's going to be fun, right? And speaking of all of this stuff, it kind of leads us to our own spiritual journeys, right? Our own spiritual journeys. And I kind of really don't know what to say on this. It's just because, I know what to say. It's not planned out, because everybody's journey is different. And in this world, we sometimes think that they all have to be the same, or we have to be like somebody else, especially in this world of social media. We follow people, we follow influencers, we follow Hollywood, we follow people, and we follow them because they make us laugh, or because they have something we want, or we want to be like them. But we have to realize that sometimes this can hurt our own journey, because it takes away our authenticity. It takes away who we are. I notice that if I get too involved in following other mediums or other businesses or other people even, and I get too involved if I get too wrapped up in, oh, I need to be like that. They're doing this, so I need to do this. It causes me so much anxiety, because I think I have to be like that. And I do remember when I was doing this with some of my, other businesses, like when I was doing some Beachbody coaching, I compared myself to other coaches, because I thought I had to be like that, or I had to be like this. And I find myself, when I do it with mediumship, I get wrapped up in what I'm supposed to be like and what my readings are supposed to look like. And I did a reading last Friday that was amazing to me. And it was my own turn on things. I didn't want to copy anybody. I don't want to try. Copying is like, they say it's like the best form of flattery, but at the same time, it's like, do your own stuff, right? Like, and all these mediums like have this thing, and I'm not saying it's bad because it's totally good. Like that's how they, but you kind of like do the platform readings, do the galleries, do the classes, do all that stuff. And so I kind of think, well, that's what I'm supposed to do next, right? Or they go into paranormal, or they go into, and sometimes that's not the season for what I'm supposed to do. Right now it's okay to be simple and just do readings. Or if I want to do a gallery reading every once in a while, I can. It doesn't mean I have to do it consistently. And if I want to do something else, I can. Or I can do something completely different. I can do something completely different than any other medium, and I could thrive on that, right? Because we get so wrapped up in like, take what you want to be, and you feel like you have to do what others are doing. And it's okay to have mentors, and it's okay to look at people and say, okay, do I want that, or do I not want that? My problem is sometimes I look at people and think, okay, that's my next move. That's what I'm supposed to do. When in reality, my journey is my own. I get to create whatever the hell I want to do, right? And same with you. Your journey is your own. I remember when I spent a lot of money on a class, and I was like, they were like, okay, this is how you're supposed to do your readings. Do it this way and this way. And I'm like, that's not how I do mine. And I don't want to do mine that way. That seems so organized. It doesn't seem to come from the heart. It seems like a checkoff list. And I don't want to do it like that. And so I do my own way, and I must be doing something right, right? Because, and I'm not like here to toot my own horn. I'm just telling you that you are your own person, and your spiritual journey is your own, and you follow your own compass. And it's good to like kind of set, have mentors and see what it is that maybe you want to be like in your business, or even in your own like life. Like even if it's being a mom. For a long time, that's what my journey consisted of, is being a mom. Nothing else, didn't work, didn't do anything else. I just was a mom. And that was my purpose for that time. We all have more than one purpose. And I think we get really caught up on having our purpose be extraordinary or life-changing, and it's life-changing for us, right? But it doesn't have to be life-changing for other people. Well, it is for, if you're a mom, you're already life-changing. You are already like changing other people's lives that are around you without even really knowing it. I think what happens is we get caught up in that we have to stand out, or we have to like be different. Well, we do have to be different, but like we have to stand out, or we have to be the best, or we have to, I'm not even really sure. But if you're anything like me, I always wanted straight A's. I don't have to be the best, but I always wanted to be good, really good. And that's okay. But sometimes we put really hard expectations on ourselves, and we put really, sometimes just being us is the best, right? Just being who we are is the best, and just being where we are in this moment is the best. And right now, you could be in a really awesome moment where you're on top of the world and things are great. And right now, you could be at a bottom of the bottom moment and things seem really, really hard. And I'm going to tell you something about right now. This is going to pass. Every moment passes. We're like water, and no water in a river is ever again at the same place, right? We're always flowing, always changing, always turning corners. And whether you're on top of the top or in the middle or at the bottom, this will pass, because we're always growing and we're always learning, and we're always, if you're comfortable and you're pretty stagnant and you've been in the same place for years and years, then there's no growth in that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You could decide that that's what you want in this lifetime. You just want to be comfortable and easy peasy, and you just want to ride it out, and that's totally fine too. But sometimes there's always some sort of like loss or grief or trauma or something that rocks your world. And it can be a good thing or a bad thing. And every one of us has to go through it in this spiritual journey, right? All of us. The one thing I want you to know, though, is your path is individual. Your journey is individual. It's not supposed to be like somebody else's, and your kids' journey is not supposed to be like yours, and your journey is not supposed to be like your parents. And your journey isn't supposed to be like every other mom out there. It's so hard for me when, and I do this, so that's why it's so hard, but when we compare ourselves to like other moms, other parents, other employees, you know, other people, we just compare ourselves all the time. And when in reality, we're just doing the best we can on this spiritual journey. We're not supposed to be the same. We're like snowflakes. We're all different. And we've got to find the beauty in that. We've got to find the beauty in not trying to be the norm and not trying to be like everybody else and doing it like everybody else. Because how are you going to stand out if you're like everybody else? Like, the beauty is not being like everybody else. And your spiritual journey isn't supposed to be like everybody else's, which is fine, right? Because I have friends who want their spiritual journey to be all about the ocean, all about, like, let's say you're taking a tour and you're on a trail. I have lots of friends who want their spiritual journey to be on a beach and just walking by the ocean. I want my spiritual journey to be in the mountains, in the woods, in a cabin, and that's just the scenery, right? Like, I want my spiritual journey to be different than somebody else's. But for a long time, I thought I had to be similar. I thought if I wanted to be like everybody else, or if I wanted to be as good as this person, or if I wanted to be as pretty as this girl, if I wanted to be, how many times in your lifetime have you like tried to be like somebody else because of a relationship? Like, you think that like your boyfriend broke up with you in high school to date somebody else, and then you wanted to be like that person. Or you start a business and you pattern your business after another company and you want it to be as successful as that, which is great, but you are your own individual person. And if you are starting a business, you just need to align with that. And what I would find sometimes is, I didn't really start out being a medium wanting to start a business. I just wanted to help people and do readings. And it just went from one thing to another, and it led into a business. And I'm not great at the business part. I'm not going to lie. I like to do, the readings. And sometimes I do like the business part. It just depends on what kind of phase I'm in when I'm on my journey. And sometimes I just like to stand back and be with my family. And I start the year with all these great intentions and all these things and all this, like, this is how it's going to be. But then the year continues and things happen. And it changes. You have plans and you have all these great plans, which is great because that's great for manifesting. You want to plan it out. You want to build the path. You want to start the GPS on your journey or on this compass course. But sometimes you get thrown off the path, right? And it's not by coincidence. It's not by accident. Sometimes I think it's so funny because I sit and I plan and I do all this stuff for my life, for my family life, for my business life, for my personal life. And then sometimes Spirit comes in and says, this is great. Oh my gosh, but we're going to change it up in here. And then I get sidetracked and then it just changes. But you know what? When I realize that I need to be in the now and I need to be focused on the now, then the journey is better. The journey is, I have to not be so focused on the outcome of the journey. I can know what my goals are and I can know what I want the outcome to be, but sometimes Spirit has a different vision, right? And sometimes we follow that, and it's okay. It's okay to be like, I'm going to go down this path, and then you see another path and you're like, oh wait, this path looks fun too. So I'm going to try this one. It's okay. That's what we're here on this spiritual journey to do, is to experience these things. And we can't experience different things if we're so much into wanting to be like somebody else. And so that's what I kind of did this year. I looked at my business and I thought, okay, my next move is this, because this is what they're doing. And so this is what I need to do. And what happened is I was just doing what I was thinking I was supposed to do. And I got super depressed. And I got out of alignment. And I lost my authenticity for a minute. And when I realized that that wasn't my journey, and I needed to do what I wanted to do and what I thought was authentic. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter what anybody else did. It didn't matter what other mediums did. It didn't matter what other spiritual intuitives did. It's what I wanted to do is what's important. And so sometimes we get caught in that. And you know what? I probably will again. I'll probably get on this thing about, oh, I got to do better. I got to get A's. And so I got to do what everybody else is doing. And instead of taking a step back and thinking, this is what's important. And Friday, last week this has been May was a crazy month with mental health. And it's so crazy because it's mental health month, right? It was mental health month and all this stuff. Our community went through lots of stuff and mental health wise. And when you think you're not above it, but when you think, oh, I'm good, I got this, then something comes and knocks you flat on your butt and you realize I don't got this all the time. And I don't, always know what I'm doing. I can think I know what I'm doing, but sometimes you lose your vision or your alignment or the path. You get off the path for a minute. You see this beautiful flower while you're on your path and you go get it. And sometimes it's hard to get back on the path. So always check in and see what makes you happy on this journey and what brings you joy. Because if you're just doing things because that's what everybody else is doing, and you're just doing things because you see it on social media that you're supposed to do it that way, you're supposed to think a certain way, you're supposed to think this way because everybody on social media tells you you're supposed to. You're supposed to run your business this way because everybody on social media tells you you're supposed to. Social media is great, but at the same time, it can be so damaging to your authenticity. And it can be so damaging to your own self. So if you are struggling with being aligned or being authentic, I suggest you take a social media break. And if you get triggered by things that you see on social media, block it for a little bit. It doesn't mean you don't like them. It just means that you got to watch out for your own mental health and your own mental capacity. And if they don't understand, then it's not your problem. Really, it's not. It's that you got to live on your path and be your own authentic self and be you. And I preach and preach and preach this all the time. And then I find myself falling off the path and falling out of alignment and falling out of because if the world had it its way, I would be doing multiple galleries all the time, gallery readings. I would be doing multiple classes constantly. I would be doing plus the 3 readings a day that I do. And that's just not doable. It's not doable when you have other priorities, like a big family. And you just do the best you can, right? And I see some people that are so hustle to make your business run. Or so this is how, and it's just really hard because you've got to only go at the speed that you can go. And I'm talking a lot, as you could probably tell, for me, it is business associated with this but my business and me are so much a part of each other. And I think maybe that's the mistake that I made, is that I made the business, what I do, so much a part of me because it's such a spiritual thing too, that it is who I am. And it is where I built my self-worth. And it is and maybe you are falling into that too, and maybe you don't. Because there's a lot of people out there that can keep their jobs and their personal life separate. And I love that because that's something that I'm learning how to do, because my job is such a spiritual thing. And I feel like sometimes it's part of my spiritual growth, and I connect my business to who I am and my spiritual well-being, where there's lots of people out there that can just do spiritual growth and not have to worry about it, their business, right? Have it and be involved in their business, where I feel like my business or my growth, my spiritual growth depends on each other, and it doesn't. And so I'm kind of getting way off track. So if you're out there and you're a spiritual entrepreneur, this probably resonates with you. If you are not, kind of good for you. Good for you that you can keep it separate, right? Good for you. But also too, your spiritual growth has to do with your journey and how you grow and who you want to become. And we watch the people of who we want to be. If we want to be like somebody, we see influencers or we see things on social media and we want that or we want to become that. When sometimes it's just a good idea to turn it off and be who we want to be without that. I was thinking, and I'm not like, social media is a great thing, but not at the expense of your mental health, right? Like not when you're, and maybe some of you out there are just like, I don't know what she's talking about. I have no clue because I don't compare myself to others. Good for you, dude. Good for you. Teach me. You need to start a business teaching classes on how people can do that. And a lot of it has to do with confidence. But every single one of us out there, I don't care how confident you are, has been times when you've been scared and it has been fearful. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is honor your journey and honor your uniqueness and honor your individuality, because being normal is not, I don't even know what normal is, right? But being like other people is kind of not courageous. How do I want to say that? Being different and being you is being brave. That's being brave, even if it doesn't fit with the majority. You don't have to think or do the way others do because they do it. And I tell this story all the time about about the newlyweds that got married, and she was cooking a ham and she cut the ham in half, and he said, "Why are you doing that?" She's like, "I don't know. That's what my mom did." And so they go to the mom and they're like, "Why did you do that?" She says, "I don't know. I cut the ham in half because my mom did." And they go to grandma and they say, "Why did you do that?" And she said, "Because it didn't fit in the pan." So be different. Put the whole ham in the damn pan. Fit your whole ham in there. Do it. Have fun and be fun. And don't take it so serious, because yes, there is growth and there is grief and there is loss and there is struggle, but there's happiness and joy. And be the one that wants to create the fun. I write down in my journal every day, I create fun and I create joy, even days that I think that I can't. So stand up and be your own damn self. Be the whole damn ham. Just do it. Do it and have fun doing it. And don't care. There's that, I don't know, if you guys know, I love the show. I don't even know the name of it now. Isn't that funny? The Witches. I keep saying Hope Floats because I have Sandra Bullock in it, but it's not. It's Practical Magic, my favorite. I watch it every Halloween. And the ants are like, they say this quote that I post on my social media quite a bit, that being normal is kind of not being who you are. I don't even know exactly what the quote says. I need to look for it. But it's just kind of not, sorry. I'm like looking at my phone as I'm recording because my husband's texting me. Just be you. Be individually. Be yourself and love it. Love who you are. You don't have to be like anybody else. You don't have to be like anybody else on social media. Just love who you are and enjoy your spiritual journey, and put your compass. You could put it north, south, east, or west. You don't always have to go north. Make your own compass. Don't follow somebody else's because that's what you think you have to do. Create your own compass. This is your own spiritual journey with your own guides, your own ancestors, your own stuff. This is what you created, your own blueprint. Your blueprint is different than everybody else's. So you created this spiritual journey. Now you need to honor it. And the way you honor it is you be authentic to who you are, and you do you. You be you, and you fulfill yourself with joy and love. And just know that I know it's hard sometimes and it sounds easier than it is, but you know what, you guys, it's so worth it. And it's hard. It's hard to get there because we so much want to be like everybody else. We so much want to be like the collective, but we need to stand out and be ourselves because the world needs you. The world needs your own magic. The world needs what you brought here. And you can't do that if it's like everybody else's. So I love you guys so much. I hope this helped. And please, I have like lots of interviews coming up because I'm setting them all up. It's going to be cool. One's going to be about Akashic Records. I'm even going to have my husband on, and we're going to have a special guest about grief coming up. So stay tuned and know that this is going to be good. This is going to be good because this is what I love. I want you to know who you are, and I want you to know who your worth is. And I want to be here every week telling you and reminding you that you have everything that you need inside of you. I love you guys so much. I mean it, and I'll talk to you next week.